Hello everyone, it's me Uncle John. Today I am going to read part 2, S33130. They work together, part 2. For years after their climb, Edmund and Norgay continued to work together. They spent time helping their Sherpa build schools and hospitals in Nepal. Both Edmund and Norgay wanted to give something back to the people who had helped them achieve their goal. Children welcomed Edmund at Sotang School, Nepal. Norgay and Edmund received the medals after their climb. Helen Keller and Anne Sullivan. Helen Keller was born in Tuscumbia, Alabama in the US in 1880. When she was just 19 months old, she became sick with a serious illness. The illness caused her to become blind and deaf. It was difficult for Helen to communicate with others because she could not see or hear. She became frustrated and often misbehaved. However, Helen's parents wanted to help her as much as they could. When Helen was 6 years old, her mother heard about Anne Sullivan and attended the Perkins Institution for the Blind. The head of the school asked Anne to be Helen Keller's teacher. Anne had never been a teacher before. Still, she wanted to work with Helen. So she became Helen's teacher the year after she graduated and knew what it was like to be blind. She had lost most of her eyesight when she was a child and showed Helen how to use her hands to communicate. Helen learned to use sign language. Because Helen couldn't see, Anne had to sign letters in the palm of Helen's hand. Soon Helen was signing herself. With Anne's help, Helen also learned to read and write. At first, Helen used to raise the letters, and later she learned Braille. Helen even learned to speak. Eventually, Anne went to school with Helen and listened to the teachers. Then she spelled what they were saying into Helen's hand. Braille. People who can see can learn to read Braille. In Braille, bumps on paper stand for letters. People use their fingertips to read the Braille. At university, Helen began to write a book about her life. She called it The Story of My Life. Helen wrote many books over the years. Helen and Anne helped other people too, and showed others how to teach blind and deaf people. Helen let blind people know that they too could achieve their goals. As a team, they helped raise money for the blind. Anne Sullivan and Helen Keller became role models for blind and deaf people. They were also admired by others. Their lives and their work touched many people. Children crowded around Helen during a visit to Melbourne, Australia in 1948. Meriwether Lewis, William Clark, and Sacagawea. In 1803, the people in the United States had not explored much of the land in the far western part of North America. At this time, the United States only extended as far as the Rocky Mountains. People knew the Pacific Ocean was somewhere further west, but there was no route to get there. Meriwether Lewis and William Clark journeyed west toward the Pacific Oceans. President Thomas Jefferson asked the former Army captain, Meriwether Lewis, to lead a trip to explore the West. Meriwether knew many things about plants and animals. Meriwether asked William Clark to be his partner. William was a wonderful map maker, but the job ahead of them was difficult. Neither man knew the land or the Native Americans who lived there. Meriwether and William needed help on their journey. They were lucky to find a young Native American woman and her family, including her baby son. Her name was Sacagawea. She knew about the land and was able to communicate with Native Americans along the way. Sacagawea, who was only about 16 years old, led the team across mountains. She found plants to eat when they ran out of food. She talked with the Native Americans they met along the way. Sacagawea also helped obtain horses and food when the team needed them. Sacagawea was smart and brave. Once a boat was almost tipped over, she quickly saved important papers and supplies that would have been lost. Sacagawea saved Meriwether and William from trouble many times. To thank Sacagawea for her help, William and Meriwether named the river Sacagawea River. Meriwether, William, and Sacagawea worked together to help the group travel across thousands of kilometers. Meriwether and William took notes and made drawings and maps. They crossed many rivers and mountains. It was a long, difficult journey. Meriwether was once chased by a bear. When their long trip ended in 1806, the partners never forgot each other. After Sacagawea died, William took care of her son, John Baptiste. Meriwether, William, and Sacagawea played an important part in the history of the United States and each other's lives. Afterward, working together is not always easy. Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay had to push each other to keep going. Helen Keller and Ellen Sullivan needed patience with one another. Meriwether Lewis, William Clark, and Sacagawea faced the challenges of exploring the unknown. What did these partners have in common? They never gave up. Partners work hard to reach their goals together. The end.